Hey guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video, and we're sort of, in Halloween week at the time of this recording. So, I figure let's do a top 10 scary movie villain list of all time. And, yeah, if you like this kind of content, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's jump right into it. So, I love horror movies. You guys know this. If you've seen most of my movie reviews on the channel are about horror movies. So it's become a staple of the channel. However, I think one thing that sort of seems lost in today's era of scary movies, for the most part, is the actual scary movie villain. The horror movie villain itself. There are some exceptions to the rule, which you will see in this list of some modern ones. A lot of these could be a little older, though. But I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Again, it's just personal preference here. It's not, it's not like the end-all, be-all list. You can make your own in the comment section below, and I'll check that out as well. But let's kick this off with number 10, The Grabber. This is the main villain in Black Phone 1 and 2. Now, I feel like this villain in particular, because of what is being implied that he does to children, makes him especially dangerous, especially evil. And the fact that the first movie, it was a real guy, and the second movie, it's more of a supernatural experience. It's kind of a versatile villain, if you will. I do think the only reason he's not higher in this list is they humanized him a little too much, I think, in the second movie. But that's fine. He still is definitely worthy of a top 10 spot. So number 9 on my list is Annabelle. Now, for those of you who don't know, Annabelle is from the Conjuring franchise. It's the creepy-looking doll. Some of the scariest things about Annabelle is when she's barely on screen and you see like a demon's attached to it or something in a quick shot. Annabelle falls in line with a lot of those sort of like doll horror movies or horror shows we've seen in the past. Slappy, from Goosebumps, and Twilight Zone had episodes similar to that as well. And there's another movie villain later that we'll mention. But, Annabelle is one of the more recognizable modern horror villains, for sure. But I do believe in the Conjuring universe, they were surpassed by number 8 on the list, Valak. Now, Valak is the nun. And I'm going to be honest, Valak the nun is definitely scarier than Annabelle. Very creepy coming out of the painting. Taller, bigger, and I think did a better job with the jump scares with Valak as well. And of course, the prequel movies themselves, although those movies aren't that great, The Nun itself is still scary. And that brings me to number 7 on my list, which is Jack Torrance. And for those of you that don't know that is the main character in The Shining. It's the dad. There's the dad, the wife, the son. They go to the creepy hotel. It's a classic 1980 film. I highly suggest watching it. It's one of my all-time favorites. And one of the reasons it is Jack Nicholson put on a hell of a performance as Jack Torrance in this movie. He was losing his mind. He was going insane. There's the famous scene with the axe where he's breaking down the door and he sticks his head in and he goes, "Here's Johnny." And for some of you young ones out there who don't know why the hell he said "Here's Johnny" when his name is Jack, it was a Johnny Carson reference. He hosted The Tonight Show for many, many decades. So, so it may be a movie that will be, some of the references may be a little more obscure for the younger audience, but I still think it's a great movie. It's a very slow burn, descent into madness, and by the end of it, you really think this guy is just one unhinged motherfucker. And that's why he's got to be on the list. But number 6, this is a fairly new franchise as well for movies, just appearing in the 2020s. The Smile Entity. Now, this thing is downright fucking savage. The way it kills people, the way it toys with people, the way he fucks with your mind. For those of you who don't know, Smile is a movie that came out in 2022. Smile 2 came out a couple years later with a sequel, and it was fantastic. Both those movies are 10 out of 10. Somehow Smile 2 outdid Smile 1. Very highly impressed. We learned more about the backstory of what they call the Smile Entity, or the Monstrosity is another name for him. But we don't have all the backstory, and for some reason, I feel like that somehow makes him a little more scarier. He's just evil for the sake of being evil. And you know how villains are sometimes more evil in a sense of they're just trying to satisfy a pleasure of killing, and they maybe don't know they're doing bad. This creature knows exactly what the hell he's doing and loves it. And that makes him especially scary. So I got to put him at number 6 on the list. Definitely will rise as time goes on if they keep putting out bangers like Smile 1 and 2. Number 5 on the list, Chucky. Now, Chucky is the original Annabelle. Chucky is, terrifying, especially for kids. Like, I watched Child's Play as a kid, and Child's Play is very scary if you're a kid. Maybe it's a little sillier as it went on, but in the original trilogy, Child's Play 1, 2, and then 3 when he got a little older and then he actually kills Chucky, which should have been the end of the franchise, but yet it continued. That dilution is the reason why it has to stay at 5, because he would be probably higher had it only been the first 3 movies. I feel like some of these other movies sucked a little, or they borderline went into comedy more than horror, and that takes a little bit of shine away from it. But overall, this is still a terrifying doll. How fast he moves, and how evil he is, the one-liners, the quips. Chucky's definitely top 5 for me. And then number 4 on the list is Norman Bates. And the reason is revolutionary. There's not really a horror movie or a scary movie villain prior to Norman Bates. He's the archetype for your typical serial killer. Whether it's in real life, because it's inspired by real life, or whether it's on the big screen, Norman Bates is definitely has all the tropes because he invented the tropes. He's a mama's boy. He's sheltered, but he's also crazy. He's perverted, but he's also shy. That contrast in the scenes and then seeing his true self, it just is mind-blowing. Like, Norman Bates definitely deserves to be on this list. He's a Mount Rushmore horror movie villain because he looks like just an average guy. And then number 3, these top 3 are truly the creme de la creme. Number 3 is Freddy Krueger. Again, Freddy Krueger is one of those villains that knows what the hell he's doing. He knows how to mock you. He knows how to hurt you. And he drives off of fear. He gets you in your dreams. He's disfigured. He's got claws on his hands. From the Nightmare on Elm Street series, obviously. But I do feel like, again, he can't be higher than the top 2. At least not now. Speaking of which, number 2 on this list, Jason Voorhees. Look, honorable mention to Scream, but multiple people have been Ghostface, so I did not include Ghostface in this list. But when it comes to Friday the 13th, when it comes to Jason Voorhees, which there have been multiple people that have been Jason technically, but regular ass Jason Voorhees, he's terrifying. He's part of that thriller slasher era of the early 80s where it was just, hey, he ran across some teenagers and chopped them up. You know, no rhyme, no reason. I mean, they invented reasons. They got convoluted with the series, obviously. But if you just take pure in its purest form, Jason in Friday the 13th is just killing to kill. He's just hunting to hunt. He's just stabbing to stab. You know what I'm saying? And for that reason alone, he's number 2. He's also physically imposing as well. But no one takes the cake off number 1. Number 1 is Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise, without a doubt. He's got everything Jason has, but more. He's got lore. He's got a backstory. He's got a supernatural element to him, even beyond what Jason has. You know, he's been a part of multiple different stories within the Halloween universe that all are badass in their own right. Like, I'm sorry. I enjoy Halloween 1 and 2 as a package deal. That's my favorite way to do it. I enjoy Halloween and they cut that off and go to the new trilogy. I enjoy that as well. I enjoyed the Rob Zombie movies. I enjoyed the Thorn trilogy, 4, 5, and 6. Some people don't like some of those movies. I don't care. I like them all to varying degrees. But in each case, I found Michael Myers to be the driving force of why I like those movies. Because it felt like he was killing for revenge. It felt like he was killing for a need. It felt like he was unbeatable, like unstoppable in almost every way. And he just kept going after Laurie and Laurie, you know what I mean? And that just made it even more creepy, whether or not he's her brother, or whether or not he's just a stranger to her. Whatever story you want to go with in the Halloween timeline, it's all really freaking good. And it definitely all stems from that opening scene where he's a 6-year-old and he decides to his parents, or his sister, and his parents walk in and they go, Michael? And they take the clown mask off. That opening scene is great. Really sets the tone. And then just in the original Halloween movie itself, just to touch on this real quick, the music's great. So he walks along, he's got that music, that dun-dun, dun-dun. You know what I mean? It just adds to the atmosphere. And so, yeah, really enjoy the first Halloween movie and really think Michael Myers is the best villain in horror movie history. So anyway, guys, that's the list. Thank you for watching. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later. RJ out. Have a good one.